Sound money generally has some degree of genuine scarcity to it. It's not just artificial scarcity. A very common example would be gold historically, that it's very energy intensive, labor intensive to move a ton of rock to get an ounce of gold, basically, and refine all that. And so it's basically a money that no individual can just print out of thin air. Even those producing it have to put a lot into producing it. And so, and as a result, like we look at the history of gold supply growth, according to various estimates, generally the annual supply growth rate is something like 1 to 2% per year. And so the estimated above ground refined gold, due to new mining and very residual losses, nets something like 1.5% growth per year. And because that's generally equal or less than our productivity growth, it means prices don't really go up in gold terms. And if anything, a lot of the prices of things you've gotten much better at making go way down in gold terms. Whereas fiat money is basically a human-controlled ledger that a central bank or commercial banks are basically saying, here's our number of units in the system, your account has this many units, and then there are certain authorities near the center of the system that they can increase the number of units in the system. So in developed countries, the average supply growth rate of fiat currencies is something like 6 to 8% per year. Now, people are getting generally more interest on things like savings accounts and things like that, so they're offsetting some of that, but their net dilution rate, like you're holding a piece of the ledger, and your ledger's getting slowly diluted like a melting ice cube, generally at a faster rate than if you were holding an ounce of gold, for example. In developing countries, the average is something like 14%, and it varies wildly depending on the country. I spent part of each year in Egypt, and they've been above 20% money supply growth for annual year-over-year for quite a while. So everybody who's holding Egyptian pounds is getting rapidly diluted as part of that system. And so that's fiat currency.